How's it going, everybody? So, it has been a while since I have done a video on Easel. I did a video in 2020, if I remember correctly, and uploaded that to YouTube. And that video, it was just a basic kind of introduction. I was still learning how to use Easel, but got over 14,000 views, and it seemed to be rather helpful for a lot of people out there. So I figured, all right, it's been a while, and Easel has definitely updated a lot of stuff. And also, at that time, I was only using the free version of Easel, and now I have the pro version because I actually purchased the X Carve from Inventables, and with that came a 3-year subscription to Easel Pro. And so that opened up a lot more features. And you might be sitting here trying to figure out, okay, what are you talking about? What's the difference between Easel and Easel Pro? So first off, you're going to go to inventables.com and you're going to get to their website here. And you're going to click on Easel here. All right. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to this part of the website where you can start a free trial of Easel, which actually does Easel Pro. And I think it's a 30-day trial. Not 100% sure on that. Or you can log in if you already have an account and you are already using the free version. Is where it talks about all the pricing. And it can be rather expensive. But if you are more than just a hobbyist and you're looking to do this as a business, then it's definitely worth upgrading to the Pro plan, because Pro gives you so many different options in regards to different fonts, apps that you can use. Plus, it allows you to do the new 3D carving that Easel's like really pushing out. I personally have not done 3D carving yet. I will hopefully one day do it, but I have not done it yet. But like I said, if you have purchased the X-Carve from Inventables, you do get a 3-year subscription, or at least I did. I think they're continuing to do that. Best person to ask that question would be Inventables. And then if you keep scrolling down the website, like for example, here's a 3D wall clock that you can do with Pro. Now here is a list. So not everybody has an X-Carve or the X-Carve Pro from Inventables. Some people use different machines. Like I first started off with a generic 3018 machine. That's the first thing that I started off with. Now all these different brands are supported, or Easel supports all these different brands for CNC routers. I know a lot of people that use the Eurohome, the Shabaco, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've also heard people talk about the Bob CNC. So here you can click on whatever brand you're using, and it will tell you that, hey, Easel Pro is compatible with that product. So if we keep on going down here, now I have emailed Inventables, and I'm trying to get a PDF of this so I can throw it up on the video for you guys. Plus also put a link in the video description to kind of go over the comparison between Easel and Easel Pro. But yes, Easel is free. It's a free software to use, but you are limited in regards to what you can do. It's a good way to start off with. Now, the Easel Pro, like I've said earlier, it opens up to all the options. But like the biggest thing right now is the 3D carving. Like Easel has gotten into the 3D carving. A lot of other softwares have allowed you to do 3D carving, but Easel has Inventables has just recently got into the 3D carving aspect of it, of CNCing. So, and also V carving, you cannot use the option for V carving in the free version of Easel, but you can in Easel Pro. And if you're not familiar with V carving allows for very detailed carves. It's really good for lettering, and very, like I said, very detailed images. But yeah, there's just so many different options that you can have if you do decide to go with the Easel Pro. But try out the free trial. Try out the free trial. Learn the basics with the free version, and then once you feel comfortable enough to go to Easel Pro, I strongly recommend it. But yes, it is definitely a very pricey software to use. One thing that I love about the Easel is that everything is saved on the cloud. So for example, right now I am using my laptop that I do for video recording, and so I'm not connected to my Xcarve. So if I start a project right now, it will upload it to the cloud, and I can go out to my shop where I have my Xcarve, log into that computer, and boom, there's the project ready to carve. All I gotta do is press the little green button saying carve, go through all the little steps, and boom, we're off. And so I'm able to design projects on a different computer in the house, and then I can go outside and be able to, or into my shop and be able to start carving it. So let's go ahead. So I've already got it open, but I'm going to show you guys. So you'll click on the Easel, you'll go to log into Easel, click on that. You do have to set up an account, and once you set up the account, you automatically are enrolled into the free trial for Easel Pro. Set up the account, and it'll come up with, so you're going to click on log into Easel. Now I already have an account, but it's going to bring up this screen. And in here, you're able to see all the projects that other people have been working on, plus the projects that you have been working on. And like I said, everything's saved to the cloud. So this is stuff that I have either worked on this laptop, or I've worked on the computer in the shop. So I'm going to click on the untitled new project. So this is the Easel software, and I like it because it's very user friendly. And so what I want to show you right now is, I just want to show you as if you're going to set up for your first carve, your first project. So what you're going to do first is you're going to determine what are the measurements of the material that you're going to be using. So you'll go up to here and you'll click here. Birch plywood is the default. I cut with pine. Now, one of the things that it's difference between Easel, the free version, and the pro version is the pro version unlocks all the different types of material that you can use. The free version only has a few, if I remember correctly, but I used pine. And here you're going to do the X. Now you can work in millimeters. I work in inches, but there are times when I do have to work in millimeters if there's like a very exact measurement, because millimeters will give you the most exact and precise measurement. But I prefer to use inches. But like I said, I will switch to millimeters if need be. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to say that my X is, let's go with 14. My Y is, let's go with 5.75. And then the thickness, 0.75. Now, the only time you really need to worry about the thickness is if you are going to carve all the way through the material. Now, another thing, once again, with the pro version is you can add material, but that material type, like I said, is I use pine. You can also, right here, you can determine where you're wanting your XY0 to be. Once again, it is a pro feature. Everything that has the pro by it indicates that it is a pro feature. So you can either start from the left corner, or you can start in the center of your material. So let's go ahead, we'll click center, and as you can see, it indicates where the center of the material, that's where you need to line up your 0. or you can go to front left corner, which is the default. All right, let's click out of that. Next, you're going to you determine what bit you're going to. All right, so next you're going to use next you're going to figure out what bit you want to use. Now in the Pro version, it opens up more in your toolbox. This is the toolbox, and you can add bits. Once again, Pro, if it's labeled with this, that means it's the Pro version. You can add bits to your toolbox. Now these are bits that Inventable actually sells, and so when you purchase one of them, all you have to do is click on the color-coded bit that you have, and it will automatically load the settings into the cut settings. So say I was going to do use a V bit, and I was going to say I'm going to use a 90-degree V bit. All right, go to cut settings. Now these are the settings that Inventables, like I said, they have tested these settings out, and these are the recommended settings that that Inventables recommends. You can change this, and you can even change it while it's carving. If you notice, hey, my machine can handle more, you can actually increase the carving, but we'll go over that another time. But I do not mess with these numbers. It's up to you, but I do not mess with these numbers because these are tested by Inventables. Here you determine how you want the machine to carve. You can do offset, raster, with X axis or with the Y axis. Once again, Pro. The plunge rate helps. Ramping determines the angle at which to ease a bit into a cut to reduce bit wear and heat buildup. Usually shallow angles for harder materials and steep angles for softer ones. So obviously with the V-bit, it's already got it pre-selected for the 20-degree angle. All right, so let's go out of there. So we have our material, we have our bit that we're going to use. So let's just start very basic. So up here in the top left, you'll see shapes. Now here you can click on any of these shapes and say you want to just do a basic square. So it's going to pop up a square here. And now say that you want that square to be a certain width and height. So let's do 8 inches by 6 inches. Oh wait, that's going to be more than the material by 4 inches. There we go. So completed a square. Now you can lock these in. So when you move it, you don't have to worry about these numbers changing. It's always going to be the same. It's going to be the 8 by 4. And then in the cut, and I'll include a from Inventables, they have a PDF. It's the Easel cheat sheet, and it'll go into detail on every setting that I'm going with you here. It'll explain it a little bit better than I can. Let's see here. So here you can determine whether or not you want to clear out the pocket, which that will tell the machine that you want this all cleared out at a certain depth, and that you change here. Or you can cut on the shape path, which then with using a V-bit, it has an angle to it. And so when it carves, it literally is a V. It leaves a V in there. Now, one thing you need to think about when you're doing a V-bit is take a look at the bit and determine, okay, if I'm going to have this thing plunge into this material, obviously that this canyon, I'll call it a canyon, this canyon that it creates is going to be a little bit wider. So if you want that to be smaller, I would highly recommend coming up here and going 0.05. Let's just do that. So as you can see, the canyon has definitely decreased. Okay. Oh, another thing I love about Easel is the preview. This is the preview screen, so everything you do will show up here with just giving you an idea of what it. Once you get it done carving, it'll show you what your project should look like. But yeah, it is very user friendly and very easy. All right, so that's the cut on shape path. Another one is cut outside the shape path, which looks like it didn't change anything. Or you can cut inside the shape path, which went into, so instead of cutting on the line on the outside, or cutting on the line, it's cutting inside the line, inside the shape path. Let's see here. So let's go with that. All right, now let's say you want to do some text. Or actually, so I've changed the rectangle a little bit now, so it looks a little bit neater in regards to this video. So right now it is centered to the material that I'm using. All right, and so let's come in here and we can do a quick little text. Now, once again, everything that has the Pro symbol next to it are fonts that you get with Pro. If it does not have that Pro symbol, then it is a basic font that you get with the free version. And like I said, Pro just opens up so much more text. All right, so let's go. Let's just use a font like this that is part of the free version. All right, so let's type in our basic text. Let's just go with hello. Oh. And then here you can click on it and you can change how big you want this to be. And then you can come up to here, click edit, center to material, and that's going to center that in. Now, as you can see, it is going to carve into the material. You can change that, so we're going to change that to we're going to go to our cut. Instead of clear out a pocket, we're going to say cut on shape path. Whoa, well, that's interesting. All right, let's do cut on shape path on the outside. Let's see what that does. All right, so it's kind of messing up the E here. And then we can do cut shape path, cut on the inside, and it's going to cut nothing. So when it pops up like this, Easel's telling you automatically, hey, there's something wrong here. It's not going to cut. Now, one thing we need to think about is earlier we talked about how you got to concentrate on your depth. You got to pay attention to that. And the V bit, the further down you go, the more material is going to cut out. So when you're doing lettering like this, you're going to want to bring this number down. Now you see how it's changing? Now let's go back to cut on shape path. All right, so you see that's a lot cleaner because I decreased the depth that the bit's actually going to go into the material. And so you still end up with kind of that V canyon. Now, like I said, the V bit is the best for doing detailing lettering. That's the 90 degree. Let's see what the 60 degree does. Now the 60 degree bit is going to be a thinner bit. And so you won't have as deep of a canyon like in the 90. But yeah, so that's just basic little things you can do. Just start off very basic, small little sign. You can, once again, you can just play around and you'll learn. That's how I learned, is I just played around. Yeah, you're going to go through and make some firewood because you're going to make mistakes, but the biggest thing is just to play around. All right, so we have that. Now say I wanted to go ahead and carve this. So now I'm not connected, so this is blue. If you're connected to your CNC machine, then it will be green. So you'll click on that carve, and then you'll go through, and it goes through step by step on making sure that first your material is secure, and then it'll go on to the next step, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. And then once you get through all those steps, then it's going to get you to the final screen where you will click on each individual button on what to do to get ready to start carving. Once you click all through those, then the carve button will turn green. Click on the carve and let her go. But this is just, like I said, this is just kind of a basic thing. I wanted to show you guys how to kind of do your first actual, like, first carve in Easel. Let's go ahead and we can save. Oh, all I gotta do is click up here. So we'll just save this as the YouTube video. There we go. And now it will save it to the cloud. So I hope you guys found this somewhat informative. In my first video that I did 2 years ago, I feel like I went way too far into detail in regards to doing an introduction to Easel. Hopefully this is a little bit better, but I'm definitely going to try and do more videos like this where maybe I don't go too far into detail in regards to, like, oh, hey, click here, click here. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at this. I want to go step by step on just basic stuff to work your way up to you being able to one day maybe do your own videos on how to. Because one of the biggest things that, like I have said in this video, is I'm not a pro. I'm a hobbyist. I started this as a hobbyist, and I have learned from other people. I have learned by making mistakes. There are lots of groups, Facebook groups out there that you can join that can help you with this. Plus, there's also a vast library of YouTube videos from different creators, and they can go into further detail to do specific things that you're looking for. But for this video, I just wanted to kind of just do a basic introduction to Inventables, the Easel software, and kind of compare between the Easel free version and the Easel Pro version. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, please consider liking, and definitely think about subscribing to the channel, because I do have my old Easel videos on the channel and I'm going to be adding to them. But I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day.